Hello everybody, I am Jmulls of Jmulls Gaming, and I want to take a minute to talk about revisionist history. It's when people go back in time to try and portray an event or an entire situation under a different light than what it actually was in order to further some kind of agenda. Halo Infinite, in its current iteration, has about as much excitement as a colonoscopy. However, discussion surrounding this beloved gaming IP has resparked because 343 Industries has rebranded as Halo Studios. There have been numerous turnover in regards to leadership positions over at 343, now Halo Studios, and they've announced they're moving away from an in-house engine for Halo Infinite called Slipspace, beforehand was Blam, and they're moving over to Unreal Engine 5. And alongside all of that, they have talked about having numerous Halo projects in development or production. Some people have taken this opportunity to be pessimistic about the future of Halo, because we have heard this talk before. That is understandable. Some people, myself included, have taken a position of neutrality, with a slight lean towards optimism. Some people have decided to bring in the take that Halo Infinite is in its current position because it didn't have a Battle Royale mode, and I want to proceed to bang my head off the table repeatedly just to feel something. Oh, we have to have this conversation again? Okay, so back when Halo Infinite was coming out, it was end of the year 2021. It was December. Battle Royales was still all the rage, and they were quite popular. And when Halo Infinite didn't have a Battle Royale, people went, well, why doesn't it have a Battle Royale? And some people have attributed the lack of long-term success that Halo Infinite has had to its lack of a Battle Royale. And it turns out that a Battle Royale mode for Halo Infinite may have been in active development at some point in time, because GameSpot spotted someone talking about this on their LinkedIn resume, talking about how it could have been a game changer and all that. I don't want to get into the specific wording or even blast this guy, because it's a resume. They're just trying to look good, right? We don't need to overthink this, but I want to use it as a jumping off point to talk about Battle Royale for Halo Infinite and the state of Halo overall, because there have been other people out there who talk about that Halo Infinite should have had a Battle Royale, and they act or phrase it in such a way to where Halo Infinite's lack of long-term success is directly tied to them not having a Battle Royale, or that a Battle Royale somehow would have magically saved this sinking ship. No, no. Flat out no. We can translate no to any other language if you need it, but this is not the issue Halo Infinite had. Sure, some people prefer chocolate cake. A lot of people out there love chocolate cake. And let's say Halo Infinite provided a vanilla cake. Okay, sure, you can argue that maybe it would have sold more if it was chocolate, or that more people would be playing it if it was chocolate, but I would counter that the flavor of the cake doesn't matter if you're using spoiled eggs and spoiled milk and 20-year-old flour you found in the back of some woodshed. The issues with Halo Infinite were far more intrinsic and ingrained into the overall product and experience, rather than being able to be simply rectified by slapping a generic BR on top of it. One, I don't think it would have had long-term success anyway, as it would have come into the game, even at launch, at the tail end of this giant trend, where few remain at the top and the rest are just perceived as slop. We have seen many other games try and implement a Battle Royale feature. We have not seen too many stay in relevance. Simply trying to add a Battle Royale on top of a base experience is not going to fix the game, is not going to generate long-term support and adoration for the game. It is simply another example, a bullet point on a long list of Halo desperately trying to chase trends. Halo Infinite, in my opinion, had a satisfying gameplay loop. It did, but the issues that it had was a lack of content on day one, a lack of playlists, even established ones, an insufficient map pool, and then post-launch support for the longest time was just dull, where content was drip-fed at a snail's pace. There were few bright spots here and there, but they never lasted for long. And a massive part of the Halo experience has always been customization and progression, and because Halo Infinite's multiplayer was a free-to-play experience, basically live service slop, those elements had to be butchered and neutered on the altar of predatory monetization. Remember being able to select your basic colors of your Spartan. Yeah, we have to get rid of that because we need shaders so that we can sell them to you in battle passes. Halo's incessant need to chase trends over the better course of a decade has led to its perpetual downfall because it no longer focused on innovating and providing a true Halo experience that people came to the IP for, and instead, under the leadership of 343 Industries and Xbox, desperately tried to chase the popular trend to siphon off some portion of that audience because they weren't brave enough to take risks of their own, or to stick to their identity. In an endless pursuit of expanding the bottom line and acquiring as much money as humanly possible, decisions were made devoid of the context of the video games industry, devoid of the context of Halo. Trends were chased, and now Halo is in its current position, all in the name of short-term gains that would, in their ideal reality, expand to a 10-plus year live service slop fest to continue exsanguinating money. However, much like a lot of the industry is currently learning, internet trends are fleeting. They don't last forever, and when you come to the party years late, people will move on. When the core experience is soulless and lifeless because you desperately tried to piggyback off of others' success, maybe a lot of people won't be able to formulate it into words, or maybe they will stick around for a little bit of time, hoping that the experience gets better, but the excitement will fade, and we have seen the excitement fade for Halo. The age of people, or at least a lot of people, being content with that late 2010s FPS mindset and overall position has come and gone. Sure, some will remain at the top, but that's because the audience siphons itself into those experiences. Because why try and play a pale imitation of what already exists and continues to receive development and iteration? Slapping a BR mode may have drawn some popularity for the short term for Halo, but it was not going to address the core systemic issues 343 and Microsoft were facing that led to Halo Infinite's eventual downfall regardless. You can grab a health pack in-game all you want, and sure, it may mitigate the damage for a time, but if you're going to continue to stand in the line of fire, not adjusting or course correcting, then your health will still reach zero regardless. Live service FPS or just shooter games, in my opinion, have been a blight on the industry. Cosmetic progression being willfully sacrificed on the altar of monetization so that these companies can exsanguinate as much money as they possibly can from your wallets lead to soulless experiences. Of course, people en masse will not care in the long term about acquiring new cosmetics like they once did in old Halo when the prestige surrounding them is gone immediately or undercut because they're sold for ludicrous price points as microtransactions or as filler in a battle pass. There's nothing to brag about when you're just spending money in a video game. The culture that once surrounded acquiring recon armor or katana pieces in Halo 3 or inclement weather in Halo Reach is gone when you new to the progression system and the customization into obscure concepts that are just contrived, all to sell more soulless products to the consumer. For a time it worked, but now the big hits that we see in the industry are games that feel original or they take a concept and do it immaculately well. We have seen the success of Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2, and in a lot of that conversation it's because it harkens back to a time before all this. For the last few years, it feels as if the biggest games, the ones that are always talked about, the ones that get nominated for Game of the Year by critics and fans year after year, at this point, they haven't been multiplayer. They've been single-player experiences that have captured the hearts and minds of many people because at the end of it all, through thick and thin, no matter how many trends may come and go, people at the end of the day simply want a good game. They want to feel something. Whether that be familiar or new is irrelevant. They want to feel something. They want to have fun. They want to be engaged with the product that they purchased. Games like Elden Ring, games like Baldur's Gate 3, games like Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2, games like Astrobot, games like Metaphor v Fantasio. These are games that focus on being a good game first and foremost. Games like Helldivers 2, it has its controversy, sure, but it was a massive highlight for a lot of people because it felt fresh and new for multiplayer, and the monetization felt fair and not egregious. it focused primarily on having an interesting gameplay loop and a unique, cool idea and leaning into its setting and its player-driven narrative. It's community-driven narrative. And when I look at something like Helldivers 2, I'm like, that should have been Halo. Because Halo had all the tools in its kit to have an experience like Helldivers 2 for ODSTs, and it would work and fit like a glove. But because Halo was so focused on chasing trends, this Battle Royale slop being one of them apparently, that they never bothered to take a unique, cool idea to heart like this. And now if they end up doing it at some point down the line, it'll be years too late. Maybe they can make it work. If it's good enough, it will. But this is my point. A Battle Royale would not have saved Halo. It would not have saved Halo Infinite. Because its issues were far more systemic and ingrained. Halo lost its way because of poor leadership decisions and desperately chasing trends, without understanding or taking into account the realities of the gaming industry. So trying to prop up Battle Royales as some immaculate savior for Halo is doing a disservice. It moves the conversation away from the actual issues that Halo faced and possibly still faces. We need to see how Halo Studios pans out, just so some people can try and hold a victory lap because they said the game would fail without a Battle Royale, and since the game happened to fail, then they must be right, correct? No, it's revisionist history. Throwing more slop in the pile may have helped expand its numbers for a time, but I don't think in any reality that with the issues that 343 faced, and still possibly faces now as Halo Studios, that the ultimate fate of Halo Infinite would be any different. I'm hoping the tides are changing. I am hoping Halo goes into a better future, that we get better games, more consistent releases, and we move away from the soulless slop era. Time will tell. I just hope that the optimism that I felt during Halo Studios reveal will be backed up later down the line. Thank you all for tuning in. My pleasure for making the video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out and helps support future content, and I greatly appreciate it. Stay safe, have a great day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody, until we meet again.